There we go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the social stream number 2 of the World Wide Writeathon. Let's see how many times I can say that before messing up.
I've already messed up in my vlog.
Right?
Me
Okay,
forgetting to vlog is my mess up, which I do every time.
the 2022 edition. Okay, so my name is Stephanie. If you're here, you obviously see my channel. So if you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves, and whoever wants to go first, you go first.
Go Savion! Savion!
What's up, everybody? I am Savion Taylor, public speaker, college student, and contemporary writer. On my channel, what we do, I make content on my life journey through writing, faith, and being autistic, and how chaotic it all can be. You can check out all of my content over there. The links are down below. Everything from my Insta, my Discord, the Cookie Kingdom Discord, because I am also known as Cookie King in the AuthorTube community. And so join us over there. We have lots of fun. Like I said, links are down below.
My name is Laura Nettles. My channel is called Laura Nettles. I mostly write horror, some sci-fi, some dark fantasy, mostly short form, so short stories, flash, and travels at the moment. But I have written a novel. It is permanently shelved, and I have like 5 other novels started that are on the back burner. So, yeah, come follow along on the publication journey. I currently have 11 stories on 14, I don't know, somewhere in there. Stories on submission. I am querying my middle grade horror novel. So I guess I do have another novel. Yeah. So, yeah, that's me. Mostly horror.
When you have so many projects that you forget about some of them.
I know.
I wish I could do this.
Well, I was filming a video the other day, and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm the author of like 4 books." I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, I've done another one since then." Oops. So I forget how many as well. Then people ask me like, "What are the titles of all your books?" I'm like, let me look at my notes because I don't remember all the titles because I'm horrible remembering stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through and just say hi to everyone that's here. So Ava is here. Cool Gamer. Jessica is here. Hi, Jessica.
Hey.
Writing Violet.
Hi.
Let's see. That's all I have so far. Might be a little slow. We'll see who else shows up in the comments.
Yeah, I think the
so I didn't
fundraiser
really
stream is still going.
I didn't really have a plan for like what I was going to talk about. I should have, but so I'm just going to talk about myself for a little bit, and we'll see what kinds of questions comes up, you guys. I didn't really have a plan. I should have planned better. So a little bit about me for those that are watching this that don't know. I live in an RV. I've been doing it for 4 years. We have seen 17 states, almost all the states on the west side of the Mississippi River. We are currently in Texas doing the super fast process of buying a house, which isn't fast at all. We've been here since March. We still have yet to tour a house. It's fine. It'll get done, or I will die of heat stroke. Whatever. It's fine.
No.
Please don't die.
We're in Texas, like North Texas, and like today is supposed to be 6, and that's cool for this week. Like last week it was like 100, 103, 101. Which is most excellent because I also have multiple sclerosis, and that really affects the heat really affects it. So the only reason I'm okay moving to Texas is because I'll have AC inside of a house, which is different than AC inside of an RV because it's not made of metal. So, Laura,
if you hear random squeaks, my dog has a squeaky toy. He's fine.
Okay, it is not the rooster who just.
It is not a
forgot what
rooster.
time.
It's Squeaky Toy.
Laura, that will always be a joke when we're on stream together. Since last night, that joke will continue and never stop. It is not a rooster forgetting and being a little late and not doing his job correctly. It's not.
So what was the question? What are we working on?
So that's a lot about me. Laura, do you want to tell us about the warm area that you live in these days? Is it Canada nice and warm?
It is 63 right now, Fahrenheit, up here in Toronto. It is lovely. Yeah, it was in the 80s, but the heat has broken and it's back in the 60s, and I love it. And yes, I still have my AC on because it like dehumidifies while it goes. So yeah, it's nice.
Eva says that where she's at was hot. The storm cooled things down a bit. They were seeing heat indexes in the range. Yeah, same here. Like last week, it was like 105, 107 with the heat index. It was ridiculous. And if I would have gotten away with it, I would have been like, no one's wearing clothes. It's too hot. But, you know, we have kids, so we have to wear clothes. It was just too hot for, like, to move, do anything. I was like, everyone's having cereal and sandwiches and not cooking anything to make it hotter in here.
Yeah.
But I did because, you know, I'm a good parent. It's fine.
Who does
Violet,
not like
writing Violet says, hi to Roy, your puppy. And then that says it's down to 82.
Stop licking my lips. No. No. This is Roy. He's lovely.
Just Ava, 82 Fahrenheit today. Cooled off temp. That's the cooled off temp. And metro east of St. Louis, more north in Texas. Texas stays hot. Hopefully that's not the case here, LOL.
Well, when we arrived in Texas on like March 23rd, we arrived in Amarillo and it snowed. It snowed so much ground that we chose not to travel and we stayed in a hotel for 2 nights. But then by the time we left, it was all melted and hot again. So we did get snow when we got here. It just didn't stay around.
The weather was weird this year. It couldn't make up its mind. It was weird this year. Hello, just woke up from a nap.
Naps are wonderful. I almost took one. I made a mistake. I took the trash out, came back inside, and I laid down. I was like, oh no, I don't know if I can get back up. But I did. I powered through and I did the dishes.
I attempted to take a nap. It didn't work, but I attempted. We moved back from 1st of April. Haven't seen snow since. Roy is adorable.
Yes, he is.
I am recovering from the plague. Sweetie. Prayers, truly. I am so sorry.
Plague is no.
So Eva says that she moved back home from Denver the 1st of April. I haven't seen snow since. Spring existed at least, but only for a week or so. And yes, Roy is adorable. And CB says they're recovering from the plague. Yes, how is recovery going, CB?
Again, like I said before when I was reading this stuff off to the side, prayers, truly.
So I had a low point a couple weeks back, like a month back. where everything was just hitting the fan all at once. So my dad flew up here to be with me for 2 weeks because my dad's awesome. And then he caught the plague and he was stuck in Canada for an extra week and a half before he was allowed to fly back to the States. The poor dude.
Wow.
So, yeah, we quarantined. It was great.
It was quarantine. It was great. I forget. We've been seeming so open now that I forget that half of the world is still closed down.
We just got the mask mandate lifted on Sunday.
Wow. Well, my North Carolina. I'm in Virginia, but I go to college in North Carolina. North Carolina, their mass update around spring break time, which is hardly saying anything because how bad the weather's been, how schizophrenic the weather's been this year. Um, but around spring break time, which was March or April, we that's when our mandate got lifted. That's when that mandate got lifted, and then Virginia, as soon as we got our new governor, the governor was just like, you know what? I'm sick of masks. We're just gonna lift them. He didn't care. He didn't was like, this is why. He just Virginia governor. He was just like, we're lifting. And then he was like, we're just gonna lift it.
Yeah.
Um,
My dad was nice though, because while he had the plague and he was stuck quarantining in here, and like I only have one bedroom, so he was sleeping out here on the mattress, but he kept a mask on, and I never caught it, even though we were in close quarters. So
wow, isn't that good?
Dad.
CB said that the plague sucks as much as John Cena. Could we not do that to John Cena? But sure. Under 5 doesn't have vaccines yet, though they may be coming soon. So we live the same isolated life since March 2020.
Ava, is that because your kid is under 5? I don't know how old your guys' everyone's kids are. I don't keep track of that stuff. Too many details.
I'll make it easy. I have no kids. I'm 20 years old and a college student.
All right.
he turns 5 in December. Oh, cute.
Nice.
My nephew turns
Okay.
3 in December. Turns 3.
Okay, I stand corrected. Plague sucks as much as Hogan. Can we not bash people? Can we not just come for a whole bunch of wrestlers and crap? Oh God. Masks were rare here, even while mandated. Well, yeah, some people just don't.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gone again.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention to your bingo boards and you don't have technical difficulties or somebody leaves the stream,
The host leaves the stream.
Go ahead and mark those bingo boards, people. She's actually dropped twice, so you got bingo. You got some bingo squares to mark off, people. I hate Hulk Hogan and have since the day I started watching pro wrestling when I was 8. I mean,
I've never really watched pro wrestling, so I have
no
hatred or I don't know.
I mean, I have a few that I have views on. Then again, I have views on a lot of things. But I'm just not going to come for the person. In the comments of lives, or on live, unless they really tick me off. But like, I just don't. I was a fan of him as a child, to be honest, but around 8, I stopped watching it. Yeah. A lot of times, people kind of like fall off when they look at stuff when they're like really young, and they kind of like fall off.
So, with the whole love and hate thing, what do you love about writing and what do you hate about writing?
Um, that's tough. Um, I love writing. I've been doing it since middle school. Just writing in general. What I hate, um, is that the very thing that I need to, I cannot sit behind very long for, is the very thing I need to do it, which is my computer.
Okay. It, you guys disappeared on me. I'm not sure if you disappeared on everyone else.
You disappeared on us.
Yeah.
Oh, see, like you guys disappeared from my stream. It all went black, and so
Ooh.
it's fine. We're here. I'm surviving. Um, how does how does everyone feel about doing a sprint now? You want to wait a little bit longer?
I have the screen shared, so if you just want to hit share on my windows down there, it'll bring up the timer. So it
Yeah.
uses my internet instead of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Laura coming in with beautiful timers.
So do we want to sprint now or?
Okay.
We can.
Just so everyone
Yeah.
knows in the chat, I'm probably going to disappear a lot because I have less than excellent Wi-Fi coverage right now. But I am here. I'm making the most of it, best of it, whatever the word is, and I'll be back if I disappear. All right. So yeah, let's do a 20-minute sprint and then come back and let everyone know what we accomplished today.
Awesome.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go! Woohoo!
That was a nice ending to that timer. There's no like loud blaring noise at the end.
Well,
It's
I would
nice.
use random timers on YouTube, and sometimes there was no alarm, and sometimes it was like klaxons of just holy cow. So I wanted something there, but not crazy jarring. Don't die.
I don't have the plague. I just have awesome allergies. And after a process of elimination, I figured out the pollen I'm allergic to. It is pecan trees. Do you know the state tree of freaking Texas is pecan?
Oh.
So I'm just going to learn to take lots and lots and lots of allergy medications. It's fine. Well, because every time I started like coughing really bad, like eyes watering, I would look to see what the pollen count was and what was high in pollen. And it'd be like orange osage trees and pecan trees and grass. And then finally, eventually, it was just pecan trees. And it was the worst. Like one time I walked like maybe 5 minutes outside and I was like dying. I mean, it seemed like I was dying. Like the kids were like, "Are you okay?" "I'm fine. I'm not dying. I just can't breathe well. It's fine."
Breathing's important.
Yes.
Oh God.
And then,
Sorry, I am late coming back. I forgot I was away from the computer and forgot all about streaming.
it's okay. It's all right. So during that sprint, what did everyone do? And then I had a topic of conversation that one of you guys suggested I thought I'd talk about. But Savion, is that how you say your name?
Yes, it's
Is
Savion.
that how you? Okay. What did you do other than forget about the stream during that sprint?
I ate in the beginning of it. I wrote 150 words. I went in the living room for a bit, and then I had 6 minutes, and then all of a sudden I heard talking, and I was like, "Oh, wait, streaming, right?" Um, so that was my sprint. Can you believe they had no pineapple pizza at the shop earlier today? Oh God, Richard.
Pineapple is amazing.
It is
No.
not amazing. It does not
You
belong on pizza.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
I
so
will die on that hill. It does not belong on pizza. Nope.
Laura, you already know Richard. We're not gonna even encourage Richard at this moment, even though it is still an abomination that there was no pineapple pizza. But we're not gonna encourage Richard in his foolishness at all.
So during that sprint, I edited my 2 flash pieces with the critique points that I had gotten 2 hours ago. So they're incorporated now, and I had the computer read them out loud to me so I could go through them again. And I think they're ready to submit. So, yeah. I wrote the first.
Are you still trying to do a certain number this year? Or are you trying to do a certain number?
I'm compiling a lot of them into my Tiny Shivers horror collection. And I've capped it at 100 stories. So I have more than 100. So I'm weeding out some and cutting some. So, yeah. They are 100-word drabbles, 1,000-word flash pieces, and there's 10 short stories in there. So, 100 total.
All right. You could make 2 books of flash fiction. You have more than 100.
I am. So, Tiny Shivers is my first one. I don't know if I'm going to call the second one Tiny Shivers 2 or come up with another title, but yeah. So, I need to stop messing with it. Could just send it to the editor. But yeah, starting a new collection with all these new ones that I'm writing from now on.
So I did not do any writing on my document. So last month I wrote the starting of another story, and I've always usually have mostly pantsed it, but this is the third book in like a I wouldn't say it's a series, but it's all in the same group of friends, like a small town love romance story. But so each book is a particular person's love story, so to speak. So
They're
there's a lot of
standalone. They're in
people.
the same universe.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people by the third book that I've like introduced and talked and stuff like that. So I decided I need to maybe outline this one. So I started some outlining, just jotting down ideas about what this particular person's like love story trope could be. And that's what I did on my handy sticky notes. Um, and while we were sprinting, we had some more people join us. Don't know if Barrett's still here, but he said sorry to be late. And then SD Hughes Shannon was like reminded everyone to like the stream. And then Fiction showed up as well. Oh yeah, that is. I'd forgotten that some of the streams overlap from each other.
It was a fundraiser
Morgan?
stream.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in that one for a bit. I've been hopping around. Morgan's here and Writers.
Writer Sky. Writer Cassie.
Oh, Writer is here. I'm just gonna go with that one. I don't know how to pronounce that. Writer Kitsi? I don't know. I don't know.
I can't. They said I heard her name earlier, and I cannot remember what it is.
And then Richard did his old pineapple pizza stuff, so we're just gonna ignore that. Shannon, love your timers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's initials, so it's writer because she's a writer, and then it's K. The KSY is just her initials.
Okay.
Her name's Kate.
Katie.
Okay, gotcha. Shannon says that they've done so far today with her workout. She's hoping to hit at least 5K. So now they have a goal of 10K because they hit the 5K one. That
Nice,
is awesome.
Shannon.
Renee is here. Hi, Renee. Yep, there you go.
And that's
It finally showed up. I only have StreamYard open. I don't have YouTube open because we all know my internet sucks today. So I'm just the comments take a little bit to show up on my end. Dolores came from the fundraising stream. Katie, there you go. Oh, where is it? Katie, there you go. Her name is Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. They keep on jumping, but hey, I'm okay with the stream jumping because that means it's working and it's fine. I'm okay with that. Savion social overlaps with my productivity stream, so I'll be jumping over to say hello.
Yep. Hers, I think, starts at 5. Mine starts at 6. Social streams are about like an hour later. So I have stream 4, and so you have Michael's stream after this one, and then mine. And so yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mine and Jessica's social streams were down to an hour and a half because of the fundraising stream, which I was okay doing an hour and a half. Don't know if I could do the whole 2.5 hours and not repeat myself. Okay, so back to the topic. Savion had mentioned in Discord about me talking about what it's like being an autism mom, and I wasn't sure if he thought, based on my profile, if I had autism or if I was a mom to someone with autism. So I thought I would just talk about that a little bit. So I
was just saying in general, whether it was like a kid or you yourself, like how would it, because being neurodivergent, especially autism, affects your writing a lot. And I know this as someone with autism who's a writer, and a lot of other things. And so I with it being two different people who kind of like deals with that a little bit in some kind of way or form, I just thought it was a cool conversation we were talking about.
No, it's great. So I am more than happy to talk about it. Mainly because my daughter's okay with me talking about it for like the first year of her diagnosis after we finally figured out what was going on with her. For the first year, she's like, don't say that word. It's a bad word. It makes me feel like there's something wrong with me. But then randomly one day, she's like, hey, Mom, look, there's an autism t-shirt at Walmart. You should get it. I'm like, okay. So then she was fine with it. So So I know like most people ask like how severe, a lot of times people with autism, people they're asked like how severe their autism is, but really it just changes from day to day with her. I find that I get most of my writing done at night because it's easier for me because then she's content. She doesn't need my attention or direction a lot. She doesn't handle multi-step directions very well. We're still
Oh,
working
no,
on
not at all.
no, like we're still working on like, okay, you need to get up, brush your teeth, get dressed, make your bed, like those things in the order. And she'll like go in the bathroom and change her clothes and then not brush her teeth, or she'll get on her toothbrush and then stop midway through. So she has a little bit of attention stuff going on. So I find that I'm more patient. I find that I don't know if it's because I'm a mom, but I also have a little kid, so I don't really write during the day at all. Pretty much, like this is rare that I'm here with you guys in the middle of the day. But she is a really good reader. Like she'll burn through books like crazy. Like last week I got her, I'd say like 8 books on Kindle and she was done with it like in 3 days. So her favorite thing to do is just sit on her bed and like read and zone out. And she gets angry if you raise your voice so she pays attention to you talking to her. And I don't know. I don't think, I don't know, but I don't think I'd be how I am with my kids would be different, other than me knowing her diagnosis has caused me to be more patient and take time to break down. Okay, this is what we're going to be doing. Step 1, 2, 3, up to 20 steps, instead of saying we're going to go to the store and go to this other store and come home. She likes to know like exactly what we're doing each day. But I don't know. I think in the beginning it was hard, but now we kind of have a system and a go with the flow type thing that we're doing each day. She got diagnosed when she was like 7, and
lucky her. That's
yeah. And really the only reason she got diagnosed is because my lovely doctor, who's no longer the doctor at the practice we were at, because she moved, was like, I would like, okay, this is how she's acting. Like something is going wrong in her day that she doesn't expect. And she will like fall around as if she has noodles in her bones. Like she'll just fall around like a jellyfish and she'll scream and she'll claw at herself. And the lovely doctor was like, oh, it just sounds like she's shy to me. And I'm like, that is not shy. Because when I was shy, I like threw up in front of people when I had to do presentations in class. Like that was me being shy.
That's being ungrounded is what that is.
Right. So, and then she's like, no, everything's fine. Like she'll grow out of it. She's just shy. And then because I videotape everything and I happened to be videotaping one of the kids when they're doing something, I happened to catch her being like typical normal stuff all the way, and then caught her having one of her meltdowns based on that and the scars from her nails on my arms. Because I would like, she'd be flinging and like clawing at herself, so I'd wrap my arms around her, and I was okay with her scratching me because then she wouldn't be hurting herself. And because there was like claw marks on my arms, they're like, oh well, maybe she could have evaluated then, I guess. Because between that, like the doctor not listening to me and the doctor saying, well, I think she would be not this way if she was in public school, because we've homeschooled her basically all our life, and whatever, like has nothing to do with
anything.
Because
public school is perfect for autism kids.
Right. Exactly. So we took her in, and it was 2 days, 3 hours one day, 3 hours the next day. And the psychologist that did the testing, the second day worded her differently, and she didn't recognize her. And the only reason she recognized her is because the therapist was wearing the same pair of shoes. So after the 2 days of testing, we got like this nice, awesome, thick report. And I went over with my daughter because she wanted to know what it said. And she knew, like, I'm going to see why I'm always having freakouts. She just called them freakouts is what she called them. Mm-hmm. And so I told her, and I was like, do you have any questions after like a 30-minute conversation going over everything? And she was like, does this mean I get to go to see more doctors? that was all she wanted to know. I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay. Because in the beginning, like when she was like 6, 7, 8 years old, she only knew happy and sad. That was it. Like those are the only 2 emotions that she knew the words for. And so she was like, now she knows differently. But then she was like, well, I'm only happy when I'm at the doctor's. Because I don't know why. She just felt happy at the doctor's and happy going to doctor's appointments. But I don't know. Now it's just a normal way of life. Like I've grown accustomed to doing different things differently. Like giving her fair warning when we're going to be doing something a certain day, writing down a schedule on the board the night before that what's going to happen anything differently the next day. Like when we go to Walmart, I don't go to the check stand with her. I walk and like look at other stuff while my husband checks out because all the noise and interaction. And yeah, I mean, I know that I have other friends that have kids who have autism, and they are in different paths than for my daughter. Like one of them, their autism is to a point where they can't even go into like a McDonald's, or they've never been into like a regular, they can't go to play dates because they can't handle that sort of thing, or they're not very verbal. So
I'll be right back.
So I don't know. I find that I'm more tolerant of other people's behaviors because you don't know what's going on with other people in the public. Not like behaviors, like if they're being mean towards my kids, then that's one thing. But like you don't know what's going on with them personally or their health or whatnot. You know,
and it changes perspective because and I said cool when you said set. I was like nice for her when you said 7 because I did not know we did not know about my diagnosis until or I didn't get my diagnosis until 9th grade. And I'm 20 now. So but a lot of like it's like a lot of those things kind of like affects your everyday living, like the planning. I have to have some type of schedule. Will I always go by my schedule? No, because my brain also goes 50 million different places. But you're very focused on you become very focused on certain things, and that and stuff like that. So like those things really affect day-to-day life, and then writing and stuff. I love that you call them freakouts. My mom, or you would call them freakouts. My mom calls.
That's what my daughter. She's like, why am I freaking out? I need to know what's like. Why am I freaking out all the time? That's what she called them. So that's what I called it for her. I just leave it up to her what she calls certain things. I don't name it for her. She just.
Yeah. We call my mom called it autism moments, and now the technical terms we know now, which is like you're grounded or either you're ungrounded, and ungrounded is not good, or whatever else and stuff like that, and so like you have those moments to where you're ungrounded and you need to do whatever techniques that works for you that the doctors have pulled out their hat. Because and that's fun. I say that because most of those techniques they wear out after a while.
Yeah, I find that I can rotate through them like for a while, giving her like tight bear hugs worked, and then usually what usually works more often than not is me like, hey Ileana, what do you think? When we had a cat, I talk about the cat, or now I talk about her favorite animal, or like, what's the latest book you read, that sort of thing. So, I mean, it changes day to day, and then also in the environment we're in. Like, if we're at home and she's having a freak out, sometimes I'll like wrap her around me and like kind of lay with her on the couch. But if we're out in public, I can't really lay her down on the ground.
Yeah.
So
my mom, one of the things my mom, if we're at home, normally my mom's just like, he's gonna be fine. She'll joke. My mom, one of the things she does is joke with me. She'll be like, because when I'm ungrounded, I can get to a place to where I'm gonna fall. And she'll be like, "Don't fall. I'll leave you there and I'll leave you there," or something like that. And we'll have a whole joking moment to kind of like start pulling me out. Or if we're home and I'm getting ready to fall, that's when she'll hug me. Which is another thing that's kind of like you have to be careful of if they're not comfortable with you and you're not a parent, because sensory is also a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I like.
It's a really thing that we really deal with.
And I think that's true for
SE
anybody. Like anybody, you can't just go up and hug someone. For
Right.
me, I'm like, I'm a hugging. I like hugging people that I know. But if some person I'd only just met like 10 minutes ago came up and wanted to hug me, I'd be like space, So, yeah.
I can hug
But
anybody.
I mean,
well, Laura, when we say sensory with autism, one of your things is sensory, and so there are times where you're feeling like if it's people you're comfortable with or you have levels of comfort with. Certain people you can hug at any moment. Like my mom, no matter, she's a comfort place for me. She always has been, especially with my diagnosis. So I can always hug her and be fine. But someone outside of my regular household, or for me, is outside my regular household. It depends on my sensory day for you to actually touch me, whether I know you or not. And so that's why unless you're very close to that person, like a mom or a dad, you can't just go up. Even if you do know them, you can't really hug us that much, because we might have a sensory day where we're like, I don't want to be touched, or whatever else. SC Houston says her son got diagnosed at 3 years old.
right.
There's a lot of.
I'm going to go through the comments here. So Stacy says that her youngest is special needs and goes to school for autism, but she does not have autism. She has a genetic disorder, so she can empathize. I can read.
And the great thing is, autism is a neurodivergent. It's a part of the neurodivergent things, and so there's dyslexia, ADHD, which get confused with autism a lot. And so there's a lot of neurodivergent, which deals with the whole mind or whatever and how we're wired. And we're not as neurotypical in thinking and operating. And so that goes for autism, dyslexia, ADHD, and a whole bunch of other different things. And so some of the things are similar between those other disorders and autism.
So Shannon here says that she saw an IG post that said reading was free, but then she's like, except for the money that she spends on the books. So we actually got our kids Kindle Fires before we moved to Texas, and so I'll go through and like upload like 10 to 20 like full length novels for her, and she'll read through them like 2 a day if you let her. Which, I mean, it's so hot outside. Who wants to go outside and play? So she just reads all day long. Luckily, I've been able to find free books on Kindle that she can read that she likes, so that's good. But yeah, like
I have a book list every year, every birthday, holiday. I just have a book list. My mom chooses about 2, 3. If it updates or whatever else, she knows what I like. Or if I'm updating something, I now can just send her the Amazon list. She picks about 2 or 3 of them, buys them along with a few clothes, and I'm good.
So lately we've been like buying, like we've been like going last 2 birthdays and like, I don't know, we went and bought my daughter books from like Books A Million here, and she's like, "Thanks, Mom." I'm like, "Uh-oh." That look either means you hate it or you read it. She's like, "I read it, but it's okay because I like it." I don't mind spending money on physical books for her because she will reread the book over and over and over again, even in the same day. Like it doesn't go to waste. Like just because she's read it once doesn't mean she'll never read it again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, doctors, therapists. We've gone through our share of doctors. We finally found one that we liked, and then they were moving the day before we left anyway. So, and Shannon says,
I'm currently in the process for a new therapist.
Shannon says they think they were lucky. The director at the first daycare she used for a few hours a week noted right away that my son might be autistic, and she gave me resources for moving forward. There we go. Diagnosis at 3. Saw that before. A grandmother laid next to her grandson and had her leg and arm over him to try to help calm him down. And some stranger went off on her. I was mad at the other stranger. Yeah. Yeah. In the beginning, there's times I'd be like cool, like laying on her, kind of like a weighted blanket, but a person as a weighted blanket, but obviously not your entire body weight on a young child. um, but yeah. Okay.
It's just catering to the sensory needs at that moment.
And the reason I think I'm okay, like I'm pretty chill with like, okay, we have to change this routine or this routine to accommodate her needs, is because I have to do all the time for myself because of my chronic illness that I have, and then my husband is a double below the knee amputee, and so there's just a lot of accommodations on our household in general. So it's not like I don't feel like it's where we changed. It's not like she's the only one we have to change our routine for, or because like there's days I'm like, I'm not gonna go outside because it's hot and my leg goes a little numb, or it feels like it's filling up with lead because of the heat, or my husband's legs aren't fitting because his legs swell up in the heat, because your feet swell up when it gets hot, so his end of his stump swell up. So sometimes we don't do the things we planned on doing because he can't even get his legs in to drive the car around. And I don't drive at all because my vision on my right side is a little wonky. So that's, I think, is another benefit, is that, you know, we're okay with accommodating our behaviors and routines for other people if they need it. I think that comes into effect too. Okay, Stacy says that's exactly what the grandma was doing. The kid had a meltdown in public, maybe because he was in public, and so grandma did what she needed to do, right? Yeah, you don't. Sometimes you just do what you got to do, and you know, whatever people want to think is what they're going to think. It doesn't matter. You know what needs to be done.
And because like that kid, it meltdown. The word is ungrounded, and I always tell people the technical words, because a lot of normal words we use are a little bit mentally harmful for those of us who are autistic. And so if I keep doing that, don't ignore me. But
I use meltdown because that's the word my daughter uses, and so that's what I go with.
And see, at that point, it's okay.
Yeah.
And see, at that point, she's fine with it, and so it's fine. But a lot of ways we explain it, it's weird. Like I get a lot of questions about, well, what type of autism are you? And I'm like,
it's a scale. It changes from day to day. Like one day you could be good with talking to people, and the other day you could not be. One day you're good with this.
One day I'm like, hi, how are you? And the next day is get out my face. But it messes with you because like people be like high functioning or low functioning or this, and I'm like, those are not diagnoses technically anymore. And it's also harmful. Don't do that.
Okay. So I mean, we have like 25 minutes, give or take. So, Laura, I have a question for you. Since you write such happy things, where do you get
Sure.
Where do you get your ideas from? And anyone else in the comments in the Savion, where do you get your ideas from? Where do they come, like in a dream, a nightmare, or do you like, what's the worst thing that can happen, and I write that, or the best thing that could happen?
For my longer like novels, usually those are from dreams. For my shorter pieces, usually it's paintings. I will look at a painting for a couple minutes and get some inspiration and just go for it. Sometimes it's little snippets from a chat during a live stream will spark something. And yeah, a lot of anthologies for collections of pieces will have a theme or a prompt for the collection. And so I will write to those and submit to those specifically. So one of them was, it had to be horror in the 80s. So I did a 1980s Lovecraftian LARP. So people gallivanting outside, trying to find the professor that went crazy because he saw some Cthulhu creature, and it goes terribly, terribly wrong. So, or right, depending on who you are. So, yeah, usually it's prompts off of anthologies, paintings, and dreams.
Hmm. So that last one, when you say dreams, all I think is, so you had a dream that was cool to you, and you just wanted to give the rest of us nightmares. But
Okay. The thing is, one of my dreams that sparked my YA sci-fi that's permanently shelved, the dream part wouldn't happen until book 3. It just expanded. It's like, dang
wow,
it.
yeah.
So,
So she's gonna give me a lot. So what she's gonna do is give me a light nightmare and just prolong the entire thing. So,
my nightmares are weird, man. They have limited color palettes, they have music, and sometimes they are in illustration styles.
wow.
So
Yeah.
Eva says that her current projects come from an idea for a series title they had, and they built off the title. How about
Yeah.
you, Savion? Where do you get your ideas from?
So I am a contemporary writer. I do not write horror. I do not read horror. Besides the last time I beta read for Laura. But oh god, that was a lot. Horror, Laura. Oh god.
You never told me what you thought.
I did.
It was so traumatizing. He didn't want to talk about it.
Okay, let me put it this way. I remember putting all my notes on my document. Whether they're there now, I do not know.
I only saw
Then again,
one
I
note.
dream. Then again, I dream that I do stuff.
Go find
But,
it.
huh?
Let me go find it because I only saw the one note.
So I
Wow.
also write contemporary. I have a series called Detours to Destiny, and I got that series title based off of a sermon. Like, I was going to church, and my pastor was talking about it. It said Detours to Destiny, and at that point, I was trying to come up with a series title. I'm like, oh, and I wrote that down. So that's how I came up with that one. But the first book in the series, I knew what the book was going to be about. I knew what it was going to be called, and it's called Tears of Yesterday. And it is I say fictionalized because there's some stuff that I kind of insert that didn't happen in the correct order of my less than excellent childhood. And I got the idea because I read the book Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. Now, what happened to me was not as horrible as what happened in that book. Okay, let's just put that out there. But I was like, if she can write something like this and it's really dark and like horrible and be selling all these books, I can probably write something to that effect about my less than stellar childhood. And I was going to originally write it as a memoir, but then I was talking to my sister, and me and my sister remember the same thing, but totally differently. Like the exact same, like we found this truth out about what happened, but we remember finding it out in totally two different ways. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to write it the way that I remember it. And it's not really the details. It's the overall story is what's important. Like like if anyone else goes through something similar, they read a story and they can see like you can get through the darkness. There is light at the end of the tunnel. That's what the gist of the story was for. And then after I finished writing that series, I was like, I need to write something a little bit lighter in topic. I was over the dark, depressing stuff. And so then my daughter was like, you should write a story about how you and dad met. My husband is their stepdad. And I was like, no, but I thought that some of the stuff that happened on our blind date was hilarious. So there are aspects of the blind date when we met that are in my first novel, my first romance novel, Love and Lattes. Yes. And then so when me and my husband went on a blind date, my coworker where I worked at was like, you can't go on a blind date. What if he's an axe murderer and he has an axe in the back of his truck? Put down your cup. You might laugh at this point. Okay. And so we're walking around and it was getting chilly. And so we went to his trunk of his Toyota car to get his jacket out. There was not an axe in the back of the trunk. There was a shovel instead. And I laughed hysterically for a good 5 minutes because I'm like, what the heck? And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, so you're going to find this funny. People thought you might be an axe murderer, but you have a shovel in the back of your truck. So I guess you're not going to kill me, right? You're just going to bury me. And he's like, it was just left over there from the winter time when he was traveling over the mountains. And so I found that a little bit funny in a way. So I included that little interaction in the book. And then, like the main love interest in the book is also double amputee. But it's not the focus of the story. He just happens to be that way. But other than that, it's totally 100% made up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Majority of my stories are made up too. I do dream stories, but it's more like plotting, and so like the whole entire majority of the book will like be dreamed in like a week worth of dreams. And then I'll just start outlining it and go ahead and go for what I know. A lot of it is based off of just different concepts or different experiences. Like my current one that I've been working on, Standstill, which is a series, is about a group of friends, and they go on these. They each have moments of being in this moment where they stand still. It's like everything around them stops. They're forced to realize their pain, and different stuff like that, and they grow within the book. They're individual books, experiences of me and friends. I have a friend I've known since high school, and he's now in the army. Um, and he's as close to me as my brother, and he has a funny relationship story that I turned into a book, and is currently shelved. Um, and so that one's a whole nother book where it's this whole letter thing and apologizing to some girl he messed up with, and he really wants me to take it off, like unshelve it and like actually finish it and publish it. So a lot of those different things is what I do. I do not do fantasy. I do have an idea for one if I were to, but I like I said, I mostly write contemporary um fiction or nonfiction because I am a Bible teacher. So I do have books like biblical concept of what biblical love is, or um, I have a guide that will go public at one point about what the biblical intention of the Lord's Prayer actually was, and that sort of stuff.
Do we need a 10-minute sprint to meet
No,
the
we're good.
30-minute requirement? Okay.
Nah, it's fine. We did 25, right? Wasn't it 25 or was it 20?
That was 20. That was 20.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
Wait, who's our moderator? Do we even have a moderator in our chat? Wait a minute. Who's supposed to moderate our chat?
I asked Jessica like in Discord. She said ideally a third of the sprint. So a third is 30 minutes. So let's do a 10-minute sprint, and then we'll come back and I'll go through the comments that we have in the chat stream, whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm finally waking up, so that's good, right?
Yay!
Ooh, pretty. Okay.
Pretty.
All right, so 10 minutes, and then we'll come back.
Let's go.
Yay.
Okay.
So, Laura, did you get a flash fiction done in that 10-minute sprint?
So I found a
Because you write
publication.
so fast.
I found a publication to submit it to, and so I made a new document and I'm formatting it for the submission and going over it one last time. And I've added 4 more words. So yeah, it's coming along.
Yay.
I'm listening to it one last time, and then it's gonna go off.
Okay. Savion, what did you do?
Because I realized that I did not finish transferring all my information from one software, my book information from one software to the other. I started exporting stuff into PDFs, which I'll finish doing Michael's stream so that I can add it to the new software. And then I also went to look and see where all my notes are and why Laura cannot see them on the beta read. And
I
realized
can
that,
see the first note on my first story.
yeah. So funny enough, Laura, I printed your story out and I wrote all the notes and never actually put it in a document.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So that's why you don't see my feedback. So I may have to either scan the print it and send it to you, or either just go in again and just insert everything.
You can mail it to me if you want.
All right, so
I'll
our
figure
stream
it out.
time is just about out of time, so I'm going to go through the comments and then we can do outros if anybody would like. Dolores says that their current work in progress came from wanting to write a contemporary romance, and so now it's a sci-fi romance. Just Ava says that she writes all over the place. Her fantasy stem from her own thoughts of humanity. Her family saga with historical aspects comes from real life events of someone close to her. Let's see here. And she says titles come early and set the theme for her. Esther is here. Hello, Esther. Ava says that she likes my romance covers.
So I checked the description box, and I don't see a link to see your books.
I will fix that.
too.
I was too concerned about making sure all your guys' stuff was there. I will fix that in the description. So very, very soon. Okay.
I have so little stuff, but I thank you so much.
This is good. All right. So Ava says that she's about to scratch the entire scene since it had her stuttering in place for an hour now. Something isn't right with it, but the day is going well. Dolores says hi to Esther. Ava says her current and most work in progress is a middle grade paranormal ghost story, a planned series. Okay, let's see. Yes, Jessica is the monitor. Yes.
We got
That is
the
right.
30th.
I remember it.
I saw that. I was like, oh, okay. She's just been quiet the entire time.
It's okay. I mean, she'll only say something if we're doing something wrong, right?
I mean,
All
true.
right.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
All right. Laura, do your outro,
Okay.
please.
My name is Laura Nettles. My YouTube channel is called Laura Nettles. I have a podcast called Twisted Tendrils, Horrific Writing Advice, available on most podcast locations, including Spotify. The new episode came out yesterday about writing flash fiction, and there are also author interviews on there. The one with D.L. Tillery is coming out in 2 weeks about finding healing through horror. So keep an eye out for that one. That's
All
me.
right. Okay. Savion. An intro? Anything you would say?
I'm Savion, as you already know. Many of you already know. I'm Savion Taylor, public speaker, college student, contemporary writer. Over on my channel, if you want to check us out, I do videos and content over my life journey through writing, faith, being autistic, how chaotic all of it can be. I am also known as the Cookie King, and all of Arthur and majority of AuthorTube. And you can join our Cookie King Discord and all of that. Links down below. We have some fun stuff planned, and so, like I said, join the kingdom.
All right. Okay. My name is Stephanie Whitson, and my YouTube channel is Stephanie Whitson. You would know that if you're watching this because you're watching it on my channel. I have 6 books out. I will put the links to all my books down below. I'll update the description so you can find it all. I post lots of vlogs. I have everything in it: traveling, writing, not writing, children, whining about the weather, all that fun jazz. And yes, so that's me. And thank you all for coming to the stream. Okay, I think that's it. And I think our time is done. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.